is because we are in survival mode with them. You ain't never been in the gutter with them. You ain't never been in a situation that you have to be in your masculine energy. You ain't never been in that situation. So that's what for number one, black women mad about black men, because we be in our masculine energy and they don't allow us to be in our feminine energy. Okay, so let's that be clear.
Hi guys, yeah, so we do understand this pain, and this community is, for some people, let's not say all, it's in shambles because a lot of black men are not doing what they're supposed to do. And yes, there are a lot of angry women, but so what do divestors have to say about this? I mean, so many people have come out and they've come out with anger, a lot of different things, and then there's a bunch of people now trying to do something very weird, and it reminds me of old Alabama. So let's listen.
And I say segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever.
Any fan of the song Sweet Home Alabama would remember the reference to the governor. And, one of the things is George Wallace, some people said that he was basically, opportunist because, there's a famous statement that he won't be N-word by anyone. And, one of the things that he found when he was doing his politics was that denigrating blacks, not black men, blacks, was going to get you political power in, the old South. So he made sure that he was not out N-worded by anyone. And today, there is profits, not a lot of profits, but there's profits in denigrating black men. And so a lot of people are deciding, hey, how about we sell this fantasy that we can separate black women from black men? But here's a little joke. Back then, the governor George Wallace tried to separate white people from black people. That's what he meant, segregation. He wasn't trying to segregate rich white people from the black folk who were generally poor. He was trying to separate regular white folk from regular black folk, because here's what's happening in the US and it's happening in Canada right now. Slowly, and I can speak of Canada strongly, things are separated not on racial lines but on class lines. The same type of folks that you drink a beer with, who you meet with, you're a construction worker, your friends are construction workers. Slowly it's becoming that you shop at the same place, your experiences are the same. You are now amalgamating in culture. So guess what? The culture, the separation is more on class lines than it ever is. So one of the things that I'd entreat anyone to read, Charles Murray's Coming Apart. Beautiful. He speaks about how America is separating on class lines. So what does this have to do with divestment? So we'll get to divestment a bit, but let's listen to what this man has to say about rednecks and black people, because this is what I'm trying to say.
I want to know why 99% of rednecks and black folk get along? Because we're literally the same fucking people. Some of us just a little paler than others. You don't believe me? Here's some reasons why black people and rednecks are the same people. Number one, if you have our respect and we really fuck with you and you are really one of our close friends, ain't nobody better start no shit with you, because they got problems with all of us. Number two, we mind our own fucking business. We got our own stupid shit day to day to deal with. We ain't trying to fuck with nobody else's stupid shit. Number three, we bad fucking picky about our food. Only certain people are allowed to bring certain things to family gatherings. And I got bad news. If you listen to this and you always get asked to bring the drinks and the forks and the plates and the spoons, you that motherfucker whose food is straight fucking trash. To kind of be fucking up macaroni and shit. And number four, we don't need much to party. A few bottles of liquor, maybe some cold beer, some loud music, and bam!
So what I'm trying to say, and I'm trying to really get across this message. When you have a situation where Red Supreme and Cynthia G agree on a point, you have to understand it. Both are saying something is wrong with the divesting movement. Why? And why do two people who are on polar opposites see it? Because what you're trying to do is tear the community apart. And you're doing it in such a negative way that anyone can see that it's from a point of misery and bitterness. It's not a point. Listen, the community should be coming together. And that's what the main thing of any group should be. Now, I don't necessarily agree with Cynthia G on a lot of points. Because I mean, she speaks about black male worship. I don't believe that there is any such thing as black male worship. But what I do believe is that there is a black male pathology. And that black male pathology does not cover everyone, but it stems from the fatherlessness, the large fatherlessness rate. And, this rap culture, hip hop culture, and hood mentality is destroying a lot of young men. And it destroyed a generation of young men before, and it's going to destroy another set of men. So that's why I'm very supportive of the black manosphere, because the black manosphere is another voice that is separate from this rap culture, which has had a monopoly on the voice of the community for a long time. Because listen, the community from the voice from the B1 folks, that's not strong anymore. That's really old school. So now you have a chance to have a positive message. But when you have people trying to tear down a set of people, and not even successfully, it's not successful. What they're doing is actually making the women who follow them more bitter and angry and desperate. And what it is that, one thing I will say, if you can agree with black male worship, what they're trying to practice is white male or Asian male worship. And that's very sad, because a lot of these people, that you're not their preference. And what you have to understand is, you cannot, as a woman, it is very sad that a woman would go around begging for the company of a man, begging for his validation. That's not the right place for anything. That just leads to another set of sadness. So my main thing is this. Look at, the tizzy that went on in the divestment movement when Fresh and Fit, said those statements. What did you guys do? Say, oh, young women should not go on the show and all of this stuff. What happens? Young women are still going on the show, because you do not have control over a community. And don't pretend as you have that control. Most of you cannot, I'm almost certain, cannot even control yourself. So why don't you focus on improving, level up, gym, getting people back to the gym, doing what you need to do. And if you want to open your options, so be it. If you want to be exclusive, so be it. But what did you say about Fresh and Fit? You said to them, okay, you have a preference, but don't denigrate the ones that you do not prefer. So if you have a preference for white men or non-black men, why would you have to denigrate black men? Why don't you take your own advice? Thank you.